Joy KahNah, and welcome to Neptune in the 6th house. If you've stumbled upon this video and you don't know which house your Neptune is in, here is how you can find out. First, you'll need to gather your birth information, including your birth date, birth time, and birth location. Once you have that information, click on the link in the description below. This will bring you to a chart generator. And once you're there, input all of your birth information. Next, select the chart drawing ascendant option. This will bring you to your chart, which will look something like this. Once you're there, you want to look for the symbol that looks like a person with their arms up. I swear that's what it looks like. Here's the symbol for Neptune. So look around your chart until you find that symbol. Once you've found it, look for the tiny little number near the center of the triangle that the Neptune symbol falls in. This number is the house of your Neptune. In this chart, you'll see that Neptune is in the 8th house, but in your chart, it could be any house 1 through 12. All right, so Neptune, when placed in the 6th house, this can be a pretty difficult placement. Most astrologers would say that any planet in the 6th house can make life a little bit more difficult. And the reason why is because the 6th house is our house of work and service and health. Oftentimes, when we have a planet in the 6th house, it can indicate a health struggle or a health condition. And Neptune has to do with the invisible world and things that are unseen and even mysteries. So when we take Neptune and we put it in the 6th house of health, this could lead to somebody who has a mysterious health condition. It could be one of those really difficult conditions that are really hard to diagnose. And I feel like there's kind of a lot of those types of health conditions going around these days. You could be one of those people that has struggled with some sort of health condition your whole life, and maybe you've been to a whole bunch of doctors and you've been to a whole bunch of specialists, and you still really aren't sure what is actually going on with you. You just can't seem to get clarity. With Neptune in the 6th house, though, the high side of this is that you can actually find healing in spirituality. The high side of Neptune is like this amazing Piscean energy, mystical, magical energies. And if you have Neptune in the 6th house, and you just aren't really able to see your health clearly, you may find that there's actually great healing that you can derive from better understanding what's going on with your soul. So for example, past life work could potentially be very healing for you if that's something that you're drawn to. A lot of people have intense health conditions that they're born with, and sometimes when these people get regressed or they get hypnotherapy, they actually find that the condition originated in a prior lifetime. And I think with Neptune in the 6th house, this could indicate that our health is a byproduct of our spirit, or that what's going on with our health is emanating downwards from the spiritual dimensions. Additionally, work with spiritual healing and the spiritual origins of disease and symptoms could be very favorable for you. So, of course, the person that comes to mind for me when I think of this sort of spiritual healing is the late Louise Hay. Louise Hay really contributed significantly to the spiritual healing community because she listed spiritual causes to a whole range of diseases. Somebody with Neptune in the 6th house, their mind and body may be operating quite differently. This could create somebody who has a highly sensitive physical body because Neptune rules our psychic sensitivities, and the 6th house is our physical body. And a lot of people don't necessarily think of the physical body as being a psychic instrument, but I am a psychic, and let me just tell you that it is. I could probably do an entire hour reading just by tuning into the sensations in my physical body. A lot of people with Neptune in the 6th house may be able to relate to this. You may find that if you quiet down and you learn to quiet your mind and tune into your body, that your body's actually giving you intuitive signals. Maybe you always get a gut instinct, okay? 6th house especially has to do with our digestion. So maybe you always get a gut instinct or a hunch right away, or a warning that comes, right from your gut when you're about to do something that isn't going to turn out well. Or maybe you get chills. A lot of people will get chills when they're on the right track, or when they think something that's in alignment with their soul, and it will come through their body. So if you have this placement, learn to use your body as an intuitive instrument. You may want to look into medical astrology and into illnesses that are caused by Neptune. Offhand, I don't know which illnesses they are. With Neptune placed in your 6th house, it can cast a dreamlike quality over your work. It can cast a fog over your work. Somebody who has their Neptune in the 6th house probably has a dream for the position that they want to hold at work, or the type of job that they want to have, or maybe you have a dream for the perfect type of co-workers, or these types of things, because Neptune can be really beautiful, and it can just give us an amazing dream to strive for in whichever house it falls. With Neptune falling in your 6th house, you probably have this dream, this vision for what you want your work life to look like and what you want your health to look like. And I always think that the dream that Neptune gives us is really beautiful, and it is a gift. But it can also feel like a curse sometimes, because we can often feel let down in the house that Neptune falls. Maybe you feel like intuitively, like you know exactly where you belong in your organization or in the company that you work for. Maybe you know exactly what it should look like, and maybe you're really driven by your soul or guided by your soul in that area, but maybe your work life just isn't matching your dream. Maybe when you go to work, it feels like some sort of harsh reality check. Hopefully that's not the case for you, but I can see people with this placement often getting disillusioned in their day-to-day life. The 6th house, it has to do with our daily routine. Our daily routine, our daily work routine, our daily health routine. You could find that you have just a dream of exactly what like the perfect day would be like, and that Neptune there gives you this idea of how your days are going to go and things like that, but then maybe they don't go that way. Or keep working at it. Put in the work until you find that daily routine that most supports your soul. With Neptune in the 6th house, you need to incorporate spirituality into your day-to-day routine. You could find your life totally transformed by a morning meditation, for example, or a morning yoga practice, or even a daily salt bath. I think that would be amazing. I'm quite partial to salt baths myself, honestly. I think salt baths are like a really high side of Neptune. It's like a mini ocean, and you could find that if you take that dip in the mini ocean, or if you're so lucky to live by the actual ocean, then the real ocean, on a day-to-day basis, it could get you in touch with that Neptunian power, and you could use that spiritual energy to balance your body and soul in the day-to-day. Neptune does show where we can be deceived. So if you have Neptune in your 6th house, be mindful of fad diets, because our diets and nutrition are indicated by the 6th house. So you could get really swept away by a specific diet promising dream results for your body. I have heard of some crazy diets recently. I know that right now fasting is really popular, like 30-day water fasts and things like that. You could find yourself getting drawn to something like that and just feeling like it's going to be the miracle cure, and then it could end up really damaging your body So you want to make sure with Neptune in the 6th house that you're doing your very, very best to see your work life, your nutrition, your diet, your body for how they really, really are. And get feedback from other people in your life to make sure that you're on track. You know, if you're thinking about doing a diet and the diet is just eating broccoli for a month or something like that, who knows these days, right? Ask a friend, ask your mom, I want to eat broccoli only for 30 days. Do you think that's a good idea? Okay. And then really listen to the feedback that comes from the loved ones in your life. The 6th house also has to do with service and volunteering and the ways that we make a difference in the world. And if you have Neptune in your 6th house, you could make a difference by giving of yourself in an artistic or spiritual way. So for example, maybe you have a dream of this planet being really cleaned up and the environment thriving. For example, if that's your dream, if that's your Neptune dream, then you could find that it's like really good karma for you to actually volunteer to bring that dream to life. Even if it's just in a small way. Maybe you have a dream of every animal on the planet having a loving home. If that's the case, you could find that it really feeds your soul if you actually volunteer at a humane society or something like that. Now, the 6th house also is the house of our pets and any small animals that we may have. With Neptune here, you might find that your life is bettered by having a fish or any pet, really. But I think this could indicate that you have a spiritual connection with your pet. I believe that pets are often sent into our lives by our guides and angels to help us in our healing. And that's definitely the case for people with Neptune in the 6th house, is that when they get an animal, it really helps to heal their soul, or that they look in the eyes of that dog or cat or fish or whatever the animal is, and that it just gives them a sense of strength. The 6th house can show us where we can get a little bit obsessive compulsive. With this placement, you could have some obsessive tendencies or some compulsive tendencies. And because Neptune is casting a fog over your 6th house, you might not see it in yourself, but other people that are around you or people that you live with might be like, come on. You could find yourself needing to adjust all these things in your day-to-day routine, or that you start to get really rigid about certain parts of your routine and kind of freak out if they don't go that way. But you might not realize that you're doing this. You might not see how you're relating to your routine in a very clear way. So you want to stay mindful of feedback from others that are telling you, you know, listen, every day you spend 15 minutes straightening all of the pillows in the house or whatever. Neptune there could give us some illusions or delusions in that area where we're not seeing clearly, you know, how much cleaning we're doing. Maybe we're doing a lot, maybe we're not doing enough. I don't know. But Neptune there is going to mean that we're just not exactly seeing that clearly. I do know somebody who has this placement who is a little bit of like an obsessive cleaner in the day-to-day, so perhaps I'm slightly influenced by that. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little look at some of the aspects of Neptune in the 6th house. If you do have this placement, bring spirit, bring creativity or spirituality or both. Bring them into your day-to-day routine, and this will help you to have a better work life. It'll help you to heal your body. It will really help to make your daily life quite a bit better. So I just want to thank you all for stopping by today and watching this Neptune in the 6th house video. And if you liked this video and you would like to see more videos here on the Maya's Dream channel, just stop by any Tuesday or Friday. So thank you again for watching, and namaste. Bye!